Hi and welcome to this Forex market wrap video with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst at Blueberry Markets. So I'm going to take you through what happened this week, some of the charts that we outlined and some of the after effects, so what happened to those markets basically. So I'm going to start off with the data. Now obviously in forecasted data we had some interesting news this week. So we had the RBA, for instance, hiking interest rates from 0.85% to 1.35%. This was a forecasted move, and originally after that move we did see a little bit of upside to Aussie US dollar in particular until it came into a key area of interest that we talked about in last week's video. We then had some other data out. We had FOMC meeting minutes. Nothing really came out of the FOMC meeting minutes that really changed the perspective of the market. We already know that the dollar's bullish and that the fact that they could still be hiking interest rates by 50 to 75 basis points. So there wasn't really huge changes to this here. What was interesting though, we had some ISM services PMI. PMI data relates to inflationary data, and we can see that it beat forecasts of 53.9 to 55.3, but was slightly lower than the previous 55.9 number. The big news for the week really was NFP. We had NFP data out recently, and it was showing that jobs were to come in around about 260k, but the jobs number came in far greater than that. We actually saw 372,000 jobs created for the month of June, which is a very strong number for the US. And average hourly earnings stayed the same as forecasted, dropped a little bit from 0.4, which was a revised number, and the unemployment rate stayed the same at 3.6%. So interesting numbers out of the NFP. Would be fairly positive for the US dollar though, considering those type of numbers. In other headline news though, we did have some UK data, and the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned after multiple MPs from his cabinet resigned as well, showing a lack of confidence in his leadership. So, and the pound reacted quite positively to that. So that was another headline risk news this week. Going into Euro US dollar then, so we talked about Euro US dollar in the week ahead analysis video, and we talked about the potential for further downside to the market if price was to reject the value area low, as well as this kind of high volume level. So we pointed out this level around about 104.52, might have been a little bit higher at the time, and we talked about the potential for the market to trade from this level. We also outlined this area here where sellers came in quite aggressively, looking to see if sellers would come in around that point again, and price just came shy after hitting that value area low of the weekly, and we've seen a huge sell-off this week. So that follow-through momentum from the week prior has really continued a bit more aggressively this week. So it's going to be an interesting one next week. Usually after we see, like I said, these big moves in the market, we can often see a retracement because lots of people would expect this sentiment to continue in the market, and a lot of the times it can pull back slightly. So it's going to be an interesting week next week. Aussie US dollar then, so we looked at the potential for Aussie to come and retest the value area low as well as the point of control, which was this zone through here. We did get a nice double top out of that market move, and price dropped to the downside. We had a spike into it from the RBA meeting, and then price fell pretty dramatically after that. We have been capped, however, at the previous swing lows, the previous weekly lows. So that's quite interesting to see that buyers are stepping back in down through at these levels. But this is all going to depend on how the dollar plays out. If we do see the dollar continue to strengthen, then these lows may not last much longer, and we may see price proceed through those lows. Dollar CAD, well, we pretty much got this all wrong this week. We were talking about the potential for dollar CAD to continue lower. Now, we said the dollar fundamentally is strong. You don't particularly want to go against it unless it's against currencies that are also strong. So CAD was one of those which made us think that the market could remain range bound and that we could see price continue to the downside here, but that wasn't the case. Oil sold off as well, adding a little bit of fuel to the fire for CAD upside here, and we saw CAD downside, and dollar CAD broke through the area of interest for us, which was around about this 129.60. we rallied through that area, broke through multiple highs, and now we're back at that main level of interest on the daily chart. So we could be seeing a bit of a sort of triple top form on the market. However, we do need to be a little bit careful. Like I said, if the dollar's going to continue to strengthen, then the downside range move might not be a good play now on dollar CAD. We may see price break through those highs. So dollar CAD didn't work out the way we expected it to this week. However, the S&P 500 did. We were looking at the potential for the S&P 500 to come and retest this area up here around about the $3,900 area. This was a level of interest because we'd seen heavy selling coming from that area in the past, and when you typically see heavy selling coming into a market or heavy buying coming into the market, like here for instance, the price can often come back and retest that zone. Okay, and you can see that there, and you can see that here. So price has done that now. It's whether we get the continued sell-off from this area now. Price action quite shallow here, and we had some good NFP data. You can see price spiked into the level at 3,900 again and sold off through the NFP announcement. So it'd be interesting to see if sellers hold this price, and if we get quite aggressive moves like this again, we could see price come and retest the lows at 37.40s. But yeah, be an interesting week for the stock market. I think if we were to hold below this double top in here, then it would be a negative sign for the stock market in the near term. Thanks for watching this video update. I hope you enjoyed all the content this week. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some of our Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.